watching Fugitive Red Eye, and I'd like to start out by saying that I know this review is a couple months late, but I figured it was about time I did a review for the newest Dragon Ball Z movie, and to a lesser extent, the movie before it. So I'd like to start out by saying Battle of Gods was a great movie. I loved it. Like, being a fan of Dragon Ball GT, I know there's not many of us that actually like Dragon Ball GT, but I did. So I didn't think that I would be all that into Gods. Although, surprisingly, it was a really fantastic movie. So, I was happy. And then, the new one came out, Resurrection F. And with Resurrection F, it was still a great movie. One thing I did like about it was, it still had some of the comedy intact that was also in Battle of Gods. It showed Frieza in hell being tormented by cutesy little things, and it was overall pretty good. Although I would say that throughout the entire movie, the fighting started out great, and then it progressively went more and more downhill, which is the exact opposite of what happened in Battle of Gods. Now, to me, that was one of the things that was not so good about this movie. Not to mention the huge inconsistency, where Frieza says his power level is 1.3 million, when, you know, his second form was 1 million, so 1.3 million wouldn't stand a chance against anything, let alone Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta. But I digress. Anyway, another thing I didn't really like about it is they kind of turned Gohan into a little bitch. I mean, he's a whiny little bitch, and he can't even take on Frieza's soldiers. And they made it seem like Jocko, a character that's strictly there for comic relief, is somehow stronger than Gohan. Now, I get it that Gohan's strength may have declined, but there's no way in hell, being a Saiyan, that his strength would decline to the point where he couldn't take on a simple soldier of Frieza. Overall, I think it was a decent movie. It wasn't as good as Battle of Gods, and I honestly still think that GT is better than the new stuff, but, you know, the new stuff is still good, and, you know, I'm looking forward to Super to a lesser extent, but, because I know that the first, like, 30 episodes is just recapping the two movies, which I think was a poor decision, but anyway, I'll get onto that in another video, because this topic is strictly about the movies. Another thing, the tickets were really overpriced over here. I mean, I'm glad it got a US theatrical release, but why did it have to be so limited and overpriced? I mean, I get it, it's from overseas, but I'm hoping that the next movie gets a more mainstream theatrical release, so it's not a pain in the ass, you have to watch it within, like, a few days. On top of that, the new forms are better than the... I did not like Super Saiyan God from, the Battle of Gods movie, the red one. It just looked like a weaker version of Kaioken. Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or as it's been retconned to Super Saiyan Blue in Dragon Ball Super, is a much better look, but I still think that they need to do something more epic if they want to continue on with new transformations. If they don't plan to continue on with new transformations, I hope that they at least make it so that, yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that they get some new cooler transformations, but on top of that, I would say they were good movies, and overall I would recommend them. And that's about it.